This is Charles Jordan on Thursday, January 17th, 1974. And now here's the Lowell Thomas broadcast heard at 7 o'clock over the CBS Radio Network.
Lowell Thomas brings the news. From the White House, from Baghdad, from Marsabit, Kenya, comes today's news as reported by America's foremost newscaster, Lowell Thomas. Good evening, everybody. The first significant step toward a permanent peace for the Middle East. Those are the words of President Nixon, announcing today an agreement, at last, on troop disengagement along the Suez Canal. The President also praising Egypt's President Sadat and Israel's Golda Meir for what he called their very constructive effort. The President adding that we in the United States can be proud of the role we have played, particularly Secretary Kissinger, so agreement could be reached. He further pledged to see personally that any efforts that can lead to that permanent peace will have the full, complete support of the United States. The achievement of today's agreement was announced simultaneously in Jerusalem and Cairo, with formal signing set for tomorrow morning at kilometer 101 on that Cairo-Suez road. The Middle East again, Baghdad, the signing of an economic agreement between Japan and Iraq. The Japanese pledging to put up $1 billion in order to finance Iraqi petroleum and industrial projects, in return for which Iraq pledges an equal amount in crude oil for Japan. President Nixon will appear before Congress Tuesday afternoon to deliver in person his annual State of the Union address. The announcement coming from the White House. Also that the President's message will cover the broad outline of his legislative program for 1974. This said to include an expanded health insurance plan and some form of income maintenance for the poor. From the President's Cost of Living Council, an order freezing auto insurance rates for at least 2 months. Deputy Director McLean noting a sharp drop in highway accidents due to reduced speed limits, adding that a 2-month moratorium will allow time for determination of the full effect of the energy situation. McLean stressing that the council will allow no rate hike that does not fully reflect the frequency and severity of claims. Meat market in Chicago, a visit from a harried delivery man. He told the proprietor, "You know, we left too many hams here and the boss is mad. He wants them all back." Whereupon he gathered up 18 cans of 20-pound hams and loaded them into his car, one of the clerks even helping. Delivery man? A fake. He and the hams haven't been seen since, and those hams worth more than $1,000. From Detroit, the case of the Harry food chain employees, 67, all men. Management threatening to fire them unless they cut their long locks, the men in turn offering to wear hairnets. But no deal on that. The case going before the Michigan Civil Rights Commission. Now the verdict. The commission noting that women employees are allowed to have long hair, so why not give the men the same right? The men of America, Skylab III, today were given an official go-ahead for another week out there in space. They also spent some time shooting the sun. Scientist astronaut Ed Gibson noting that the solar disk was abnormally quiet. And then he added, "You know, it reminds me of an old girlfriend. She looked active, but she wasn't. And so long until tomorrow."
This broadcast came to you from CBS News.
And from News 88, good evening. I'm Robert Vaughn. WCBS News time is 7:07. Clear skies, 20 degrees.